Stop the guilt. Stop the confusion. Stop believing that being good with money means giving up your life. Your latte is not the problem. Your lack of a system is. This is Ramit Sethi's No BS 6-week program to automate your financial life so you can stop thinking about money and start living with it. This isn't about deprivation, it's about optimization. Over the next 90 minutes, you will get the exact scripts, the specific accounts to open, and the ruthless automation rules to conquer your credit cards, bank accounts, investments, and budget permanently. Week 1 starts now. Chapter 1. Kill your guilt. Your money beliefs are broken. Welcome to Week 1. Before we open a single account, before we automate a single dollar, we must perform surgery. Not on your budget, on your brain. Your number one financial problem is not your debt, your income, or your spending. It is your guilt, your shame, the quiet, persistent story you tell yourself that you're bad with money, that you should know better, that you don't deserve to be rich. This guilt is a parasite. It feeds on inaction. It makes you avoid your bank statements. It makes you procrastinate on investing. It makes you believe that managing money is a punishment for the morally pure. It is a lie. And today, we exterminate it. You have money beliefs, invisible scripts running in the background of your mind. They were installed decades ago by your parents, by TV, by a culture that equates wealth with greed and frugality with virtue. These scripts are broken. They are costing you everything. Let's name them. Money is the root of all evil. Rich people are jerks. Talking about money is rude. I should be able to figure this out on my own. I don't deserve it. Hear them? They are not truths. They are heirlooms of limitation. Hand-me-downs from a past that does not get to dictate your future. Now, let's dismantle the biggest distraction in personal finance, the latte factor. You've heard it, the idea that if you just skip your daily $5 coffee, you'll retire a millionaire. It's a compelling story. It's also a dangerous, manipulative myth. Why? Because it focuses your anxiety on the smallest, most visible line item in your life. It makes you feel guilty for a tiny pleasure. It convinces you that wealth is built through 1,000 small acts of self-denial. That is a poverty mindset. It is exhausting, and it is wrong. The latte factor is a tactical error of catastrophic proportions. It ignores the real drivers of wealth, or the lack of it. The recurring, automated leaks you never look at. The $120 monthly subscription you forgot about. The 2% fee on your mutual fund draining tens of thousands over your lifetime. The $300 extra you pay in car insurance because you haven't shopped around in 5 years. The salary you're leaving on the table by not asking. That's the key. We are not here to optimize for guilt. We are here to optimize for freedom. The core philosophy of this entire program can be stated in one sentence. Repeat it until you believe it. Expend extravagantly on the things you love and cut costs mercilessly on the things you don't. Your goal is not to live a smaller life. It is to design a bigger one. To do that, you must redirect the massive flows of money you're currently ignoring so you can pour fuel on the passions that actually light you up. It's not about willpower. It's about awareness. You don't need to shame yourself into saving $4. You need a system that automatically saves $400. So, your first assignment is not a financial task. It is a psychological excavation. The money script autopsy. First, locate the script. You will sit in silence for 10 minutes. Ask yourself, what is the single most common sentence about money I heard growing up? Write it down. Now ask, what is the primary emotion I feel when I log into my bank account? Write that down. This is your starting point. This is the broken code. Second, perform the reframe. For every limiting script, you will write a new authoritative command. If the script is "money is the root of all evil," your command is "money is a tool for creating freedom and impact. I choose to wield it wisely." If the emotion is dread, your command is "my finances are a system to be managed, not a judgment on my character. I observe with curiosity." You are not layering positive thinking, you are deleting and replacing. Third, define your rich life right now. Take a clean sheet of paper. Write "my rich life" at the top. Describe it in vivid present tense detail. What are you doing? Who are you with? What does it feel like? I take 2 international vacations a year with my partner, guilt-free. I have a personal trainer. I donate meaningfully to my favorite cause. This is your compass. Every financial decision from now on will be measured against this question: does this move me towards or away from my rich life? You have a choice. You can continue to let invisible, inherited guilt dictate your financial behavior. You can keep having the same internal argument every time you buy a coffee. Or you can declare that argument over. You can decide that your money will serve your life, not the other way around. Kill the guilt. It is dead weight. The only thing you should feel about money from this day forward is a sense of calm, strategic command. The mental prison is now open. The door is unlocked. Walk out. Your first act of freedom is to see money for what it is: a neutral, incredibly powerful tool. And you are the engineer. Now, with a clear mind, we attack the first practical pillar of your new system. We go where most people feel the most fear and confusion. We turn the weapon into a tool. Chapter 2. Optimize your credit cards. Make banks pay you. Guilt is dead. Your mind is clear. Now we weaponize the tool you've been taught to fear: the credit card. Society tells you it's dangerous, a temptation, a one-way ticket to debt. That is a story told by people who failed to manage a simple piece of plastic. It is a story of weakness. We do not deal in weakness, we deal in systems. A credit card is not a danger. It is a free, high-limit, unsecured loan with perks. It is a financial lever placed in your hands by a multi-billion-dollar bank begging you to use it wisely so they can profit from the merchants. Your job is not to avoid it. Your job is to exploit it. Your goal is simple: make banks pay you every single month. Let's dismantle the fear. The number one rule is non-negotiable, absolute, and unforgiving. You will never, ever carry a balance. Not for a day, not for a dollar. Interest is the tax on financial illiteracy. You will not pay it, period. Now, with that iron law in place, let's talk about why you will put everything you possibly can on this card. Reason 1. Build an immaculate credit score. Your payment history is the single largest factor in your credit score. By putting charges on your card and paying the statement balance in full, on time, every single month, you are broadcasting to the entire financial world, "I am a reliable borrower." This is not for ego, this is for leverage. This high score will save you tens of thousands of dollars on your future mortgage, your car loan, your insurance premiums. It is a silent financial asset. Reason 2, earn free money. Cash back, travel points, sign-up bonuses. This is not a game for points geeks. This is a systematic transfer of value from corporate profits to your wallet. A 2% cashback card means every $10,000 you spend puts $200 back in your pocket. For spending you were going to do anyway. That is free money for following a simple rule. Reason 3, create a force field of protection. Paying with a credit card is safer than using a debit card or cash. It is not your money at stake, it is the bank's.
Fraudulent charges? You dispute them. The bank fights to get its money back. A defective product? Many cards offer extended warranties or price protection. You are adding a layer of armored intelligence between you and the world. That's the key. You are not using credit, you are arbitraging the system. You are using the bank's money for 30 to 45 days interest-free, earning rewards, building your score, and getting protection, all while your own cash sits safely in your account. It's not about having willpower, it's about having a system. You don't need to resist overspending on a card, you need to automate the payment so overspending is impossible. So, here is your credit card optimization protocol. Week 2 begins now. Step 1, the audit and selection. If you have existing cards, log in. Check the annual fees, the interest rates, irrelevant, but note them, and the rewards structure. If you're paying an annual fee for a card you don't actively use for premium benefits, cancel it. If you have no card or a poor card, you will apply for one. Choose a no annual fee cashback card as your workhorse. This is not a personality test. Pick the one with the highest flat rate cashback on all purchases. Simple, done. Step 2, the automation mandate. This is the linchpin, the single most important action in this chapter. You will log into your credit card account and your checking account. You will set up automatic payment of the full statement balance every month on the due date. This removes the possibility of human error, forgetfulness, or procrastination. The system pays itself. You are now a supervisor, not a laborer. Step 3, the operational rule. From this day forward, all possible spending goes on this card. Groceries, gas, subscriptions, bills that don't charge a fee for credit payment. You treat it like a debit card. You do not think, I have credit available. You think, do I have cash in my checking account to cover this? If yes, swipe. If no, stop. The card is a payment method, not a source of funds. You have a choice. You can continue to view credit as a dangerous temptation to be avoided or used with anxiety, leaving free money and powerful protection on the table. Or you can become the master of the instrument. You can turn a billion-dollar banking system into your own personal rewards program and credit-building factory. A credit card in the hands of an amateur is a danger. In the hands of a systematized professional, it is a tool that pays you to use it. It builds your future leverage with every swipe. Your plastic is now a profit center. But for this system to work, one condition must be met. You must have zero toxic, high-interest debt dragging you down. That parasitic weight must be eliminated completely.
Chapter 3. Demolish your debt. The aggressive snowball protocol. Your credit is now a tool, a lever. But a lever is useless if you're pinned under a rock. That rock is debt. Not all debt. A mortgage on an appreciating asset is a strategic liability. A low-interest student loan can be managed. We are talking about toxic debt, high-interest consumer debt, credit card balances you've carried, personal loans, store financing. This debt is not a tool, is an emergency, a financial hemorrhage. It is a negative compounding machine working against you every second of every day. You do not have a debt problem, you have a cash flow problem, and today we solve it with violence of action. Forget everything you've heard about good debt. In the context of your rich life, any debt that charges you more than 7-8% interest is an enemy to be destroyed. It is psychological quicksand. It makes you feel trapped. It limits your choices. It must be eliminated. We will use a hybrid method, the aggressive snowball protocol. It combines mathematical efficiency with psychological warfare. Here's how it works. You will attack on 2 fronts simultaneously. Front 1, the psychological snowball, the momentum builder. You list all your toxic debts from the smallest total balance to the largest. You make minimum payments on all of them. Then you take every single extra dollar you can find,
every side hustle income, every saved expense, every windfall, and you attack the smallest debt with relentless focus. You annihilate it. Why? Because you need a win, fast. The feeling of closing an account, of seeing a balance hit zero, is psychological rocket fuel. It proves the system works. It builds momentum. It turns you from a debtor into a conqueror. Front 2, the mathematical avalanche, the interest killer. At the same time, you look at your debts by interest rate from highest to lowest. You acknowledge that this is the mathematically optimal path. The debt with the 24% APR is a fire that will burn you alive if you ignore it. So, while you are throwing your smallest extra payments at the smallest balance for the win, you are also strategically ensuring that any significant extra funds are allocated to the highest interest debt. This is the aggressive part. You are not choosing one method, you are using both. You get the quick psychological victory, and you strategically bleed the most dangerous wound. That's the key. This is not an academic exercise in optimization. It is a military campaign for your mind and your money. You need to feel progress to keep going. The snowball gives you that. The avalanche ensures you're not being stupid with the math. Let's get tactical. The debt demolition drill. First, the triage. Open a spreadsheet or take a piece of paper. Create 4 columns: lender, balance, minimum payment, interest rate, APR. List every single toxic debt, every last one. Seeing it all in one place is terrifying and necessary. This is the enemy army. You are now the general. Second, the cash flow siege. You are under financial siege. You need more ammunition. This means you conduct a 30-day spending freeze on all non-essential, guilt-free spending. No restaurants, no new clothes, no entertainment you pay for. Every dollar normally spent there is now a prisoner of war, repurposed for your debt army. You also sell what you don't need. The old guitar, the second monitor, the hobby gear you haven't touched in a year. Convert clutter to cash, convert cash to debt destruction. Then you set up your payment attack. Minimums are automated for all debts. Then you calculate your total ammunition from the freeze and sales. You allocate 70% of this ammunition to your smallest balance debt for the snowball win. You allocate 30% to your highest interest debt for the avalanche. You attack. When the smallest debt is obliterated, you celebrate. Then you take its entire former minimum payment plus your ammunition and you roll it all like a growing snowball into attacking the next target on the list. The momentum builds. The wins come faster. It's not about feeling deprived. It's about being temporarily ruthless. You don't need to live like this forever. You need to live like this until the enemy is dead. You have a choice. You can continue making minimum payments for the next 22 years, paying for your past 3 times over, feeling the quiet desperation of stagnant balances. Or you can declare a state of financial emergency. You can get angry. You can get focused. You can live on rice and beans for a season, so you can live on steak and freedom for a lifetime. Debt is a weight on your soul. It clouds every financial decision. It makes you risk-averse when you should be bold. It makes you settle for a salary when you should be negotiating. It has to go. Demolish it. Sweat the small balances for the win. Attack the high rates for the logic. Watch the statements. See the numbers fall. With every zeroed-out balance, you are not just saving interest. You are buying back your future. You are purchasing your own freedom. The toxic debt is now under siege. It will fall. While that campaign runs in the background, we must secure our base of operations. We must stop the silent theft that's happening in Silent Thief, that's happening in plain sight, in the very account where your money is supposed to be safe.
Chapter 4. Open your high-yield accounts. Stop letting banks steal. Your debt is under attack. The snowball is rolling. Now we secure your capital. We stop the silent, legalized theft that is happening to your money right now. Where is your emergency fund? Where is the cash for your next vacation, your next car, your security blanket? If it's sitting in a traditional big brand bank savings account, you are being robbed.
not with a mask and a gun, with a smile and a free checking account. Your bank is not your friend. It is a business, and its business model, when it comes to your savings, is simple. Pay you as little as possible, often 0.01% interest, while they lend your money out at 5%, 10%, 20%. They profit from your financial ignorance. They bet you won't notice. That ends today. Inflation is the silent tax. At 3% inflation, money in a 0.01% account loses nearly half its purchasing power in 25 years. It is decaying. You are not saving. You are performing a slow, respectful funeral for your financial security. You must move your money. You must open a high-yield savings account. This is not a complex investment. This is a basic, non-negotiable upgrade. It is moving your cash from a rotting wooden box into a fortified, interest-bearing vault. Your bank should work for you. If it's not paying you, it's picking your pocket. A high-yield savings account, HYSA, is typically offered by online-only banks. No brick-and-mortar branches means lower overhead. Those savings are passed to you in the form of a real interest rate, often 20 to 50 times higher than a traditional bank. This is not a trick. It is simple competition. Your money is FDIC insured, exactly the same as in your old bank. It is just as safe. It is just infinitely smarter. Let's define the mission. You will create two primary buckets in your HYSA. Bucket 1, the untouchable fortress. This is your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of your critical living expenses. This money has one job, to exist. It is your sleep well at night money. It is the barrier between you and life's surprises that would otherwise force you into toxic debt. It is not for investments. It is not for a new TV. It is for emergencies, period. Bucket 2, the targeted savings vaults. This is where you save for specific short-term goals. You don't have one vague savings balance. You have named accounts. Italy 2024, new car fund, Christmas gifts, medical deductible. Giving your dollars a specific job focuses your intent and protects the money from frivolous spending. That's the key. You are not just chasing a higher number. You are building an organized, intentional financial architecture. Every dollar has a designated purpose and a designated, optimized home. It's not about having a lot of money to save. It's about respecting the money you have enough to put it in the right place. You don't need permission from a bank manager. You need 20 minutes and an internet connection. So, your operation is the high-yield account migration. Execute this now. Step 1. The selection criteria. You will choose a bank based on 3 factors in this order. 1. High APY, annual percentage yield. This is the number. Compare it. 2. FDIC insurance, non-negotiable. 3. No fees. No monthly maintenance fees, no minimum balance fees. Everything else, the app design, the transfer speed, is secondary. Pick one from the top of the current rate comparison lists. Do not overthink this. Step 2. The account launch. Go to the bank's website. Open your account. You will create your emergency fund account first, then create your first targeted savings account for your most immediate goal. The process is like signing up for any online service. Have your driver's license and social security number ready. It takes 10 minutes. Step 3. The capital transfer. Link your new HYSA to your old checking account. Initiate the transfer of your entire emergency fund. Then set up an automatic recurring transfer from your checking account to your HYSA, scheduled for the day after each payday. Start small if you must. $50, $100. The habit is more important than the amount. This is paying your future self first, and it is now automated. You have a choice. You can continue to let a trillion-dollar industry use your cash for its own profit while giving you pennies in return, politely stealing your purchasing power every year, or you can become a shrewd capitalist with your own capital. You can move your money to where it is respected, where it is put to work for you. This is the foundation of all wealth, capital preservation. Before you can grow money, you must stop it from shrinking. A high-yield account is the bare minimum of self-respect in the financial world. Your cash is now secured, working, and organized. The foundation is poured. Now we build the engine on top of it. We automate the entire machine so it runs without your thought, your worry, or your willpower.
Chapter 5. The 85% Solution. Automate your bills and savings. Your cash is secure. Your debt is under siege. Now we remove the single greatest point of failure in your financial life. You. Your willpower is finite. Your memory is flawed. Your motivation is seasonal. Relying on yourself to remember to transfer savings, to pay bills on time, to invest each month is a strategy for failure. It is asking a human to behave like a machine. We are not built for that. So, we will build the machine instead. Perfection is the enemy. You will not manually manage 100% of your money with 100% accuracy. It is impossible. But you can, with brutal simplicity, automate 85% of it. And 85% done perfectly is infinitely better than 100% done poorly. This is the core of the system. This is where money management becomes invisible. This is where you stop doing finance and start having finances. The principle is this: if you have to think about it, you will fail. Automate first, ask questions later. We will automate in two crucial layers: outflows and inflows. Layer 1. Automate your outflows, your bills. Every fixed, predictable expense in your life must be put on autopilot. Your rent or mortgage, your utilities, your insurance premiums, your subscription services. You will use your bank's bill pay service or set up automatic payments directly with each company. The money leaves your account on the same day each month without you lifting a finger. No late fees, no stress, no mental energy spent on trivia. Your checking account becomes a central clearinghouse that operates on a precise schedule. Layer 2. Automate your inflows, your savings and investments. This is the game changer. The pay yourself first principle is a philosophy. Automation is how you weaponize it. The day after your paycheck hits your checking account, an automatic rule executes. It sweeps a predetermined amount, your rich life fuel, out of your reach. It sends it directly to your high-yield savings account for your goals. It sends it directly to your investment account. This happens before you can see the money, before you can spend it, before you can even think about it. That's the key. You are not deciding to save what's left over. There is no leftover. You have pre-decided the cost of your future, and you have made it the first and most important bill you pay, to your own future self. Your checking account is no longer your total financial picture. It is simply the operational account. The money that lands there is already spoken for. It's for your automated bills and your guilt-free spending. Everything else has already been whisked away to safer, more productive places. It's not about control. It's about relinquishing control to a superior system. You don't need to feel motivated to save. Your system is motivation-proof. So, your command is the 85% automation protocol. You will not leave this chapter until these systems are live. Step 1. The Bill Pay Blitz. Log into your checking account. Navigate to the Bill Pay section. Add every single predictable payee. Set the amount and the due date. For variable bills like utilities, set up automatic payments directly with the company, pulling from your checking account. Your goal: 0 manual bill payments. None. The machine handles it. Step 2. The Pay Yourself First transfer. Log into your bank's transfer system. You will create 2 automatic recurring transfers. To your high-yield savings account, a fixed amount. Start with 5 to 10% of your take-home pay, scheduled for the day after each payday. To your investment account, which will set up next chapter, a fixed amount, also scheduled for the day after payday. These transfers are non-negotiable. They are your first and most important financial obligations. Step 3. The Buffer and Review. You will now maintain a 1-month operational buffer in your checking account. This is a cushion that ensures your automated system never fails due to a timing issue. Once this buffer is in place, you will conduct a weekly 5-minute financial review, not to pay bills, but to observe. You will ensure the automations ran, check for any fraud, and gaze with satisfaction at a system that works while you sleep. You have a choice.
You can remain the frantic, forgetful operator of your own financial chaos, constantly putting out fires, missing due dates, and wondering where the money went. Or you can become the architect. You can design a self-sustaining ecosystem that reliably funds your life, your future, and your dreams without your daily intervention. Automation is not laziness. It is the highest form of financial discipline. It is the act of making the right choice once and then enforcing it forever. Your financial machine is now humming on autopilot for the essentials. Bills are paid. Savings are growing. This creates something powerful: clarity. And with that clarity, you can now make the most important plan of all, not for your bills, but for your joy.
Chapter 6. Conscious Spending. Budget for your rich life. Your machine is built. Money flows on autopilot. Now we address the final frontier, the part you've been waiting for, the spending. Traditional budgeting is a punishment. It's a list of thou shalt nots. It focuses on lack. It makes you feel guilty for living. That is why it fails every single time. We do not budget. We spend consciously. Conscious spending is not about restriction. It is about intentional allocation. It is the system that ensures your money flows toward the things that make your life rich, while automatically cutting the waste you don't care about. Remember the core command: spend extravagantly on the things you love and cut costs mercilessly on the things you don't. Your rich life is not a someday dream. It is a line item in your spending plan today. This chapter is where you design that plan. We will use a simple, powerful framework, the conscious spending plan. It divides your take-home income into 4 buckets. Fixed costs, 50 to 60%, your essentials, rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, minimum debt payments. These are mostly automated. The goal is to optimize and reduce these ruthlessly to create more space for the other buckets. Investments, 10 to 20%, your future freedom. This is the automated transfer to your retirement and investment accounts. This is non-negotiable. It is the price of your future rich life, paid first. Savings goals, 5 to 10%, your short-term dreams. The money automatically flowing to your high-yield savings account for your specific goals: vacations, gifts, a new car. Guilt-free spending, 20 to 35%. This is the engine of your joy. This is your money to blow with zero guilt. Dining out, hobbies, clothing, entertainment. This account is sacred. You do not apologize for it. You fund it intentionally so you can spend it joyfully. That's the key. The guilt-free spending account is what makes the entire system sustainable. You are not a monk. You are a person designing a life you love. This account is your permission slip. It's not about tracking every penny of your guilt-free spending. It's about allocating the lump sum and setting it free. You don't need to justify a coffee. Your system already justified it when it funded the account. So, your mission is to create your conscious spending plan. This is your financial blueprint for a rich life. First step, the 1-month audit. You cannot plan where you're going until you know where you are. For 1 month, you will track every single dollar you spend. Use an app, a spreadsheet, or a notebook. Do not judge, just observe. Categorize each expense into the 4 buckets. This data is gold. It shows you the truth of your current priorities. Step 2, the allocation session. After the audit, take your average monthly take-home pay. Now allocate percentages to the 4 buckets. Aim for the targets: fixed costs, 55%, investments, 15%, savings, 10%, guilt-free, 20%. Does your current spending match this? Where are you over? Where are you under? This is not about perfection. It's about direction. The goal is to shift your spending toward this ideal allocation. Step 3, create your guilt-free account.
Open a separate checking account or a sub-account within your main bank. Name it Guilt-Free or My Rich Life. Set up an automatic transfer from your main checking to fund this account based on your chosen percentage right after payday. This is now your fun money. When it's gone, you stop spending. No guilt, no tracking categories. This is freedom engineered. You have a choice. You can continue to let your money bleed out on random subscriptions, impulsive buys, and things that bring you no real joy, all while feeling guilty about the things you actually love. Or you can become the deliberate architect of your pleasure. You can identify what truly fuels you, fund it aggressively, and cut everything else without a second thought. A budget is a cage. A conscious spending plan is a map to your personal paradise. It tells your money exactly where to go, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Your spending is now intentional. Your joy is funded. Your present is secure. Now we must secure your future on the same level. We must build the machine that will make work optional.
Chapter 7. The Simple, Automated Investment Machine. Your present is designed. Your joy is funded. Now we build the engine for your future, the machine that works 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, while you sleep, while you play, while you live your rich life. Investing. This word is shrouded in mystique, complexity, and fear. It is presented as a game for experts, a casino for the brave, a confusing maze of stocks, bonds, and jargon. This is a lie that keeps you inactive, a lie that benefits the financial industry that profits from your confusion and inaction. We reject the lie. Investing, for our purposes, is not about picking stocks. It is not about timing the market. It is not about beating anyone. Investing is about owning a tiny piece of thousands of the world's best companies and getting paid for it, automatically, forever. Your goal is not to be a day trader. Your goal is to be an owner, a silent, patient, relentless owner. And you will achieve this with a machine so simple, so boring that talking about it puts people to sleep. That is its power. The best investment strategy is a boring one, automated and left completely alone. We will build this machine using two core principles. Principle 1, the index fund. You will not buy individual stocks. You will buy a tiny slice of the entire market through a low-cost index fund. An S&P 500 index fund, for example, owns a piece of 500 of America's largest companies. When you invest in it, you own a microscopic share of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and every other major player. You are betting on the collective ingenuity and productivity of the entire economy. This is the single most powerful, diversified, and historically proven investment vehicle for the everyday person. Principle 2, automation and ignorance. You have already automated your savings transfer. Now you will automate the investment of that money. You will set up automatic purchases of your chosen index fund. Then you will do the hardest part. You will ignore it. You will not check the price daily. You will not panic when the market drops 10%. You will not get greedy when it rises 20%. You will let the automatic transfers buy more shares when prices are low and fewer when they are high. This is called dollar cost averaging, and it is your psychological armor against volatility. That's the key. You are not making emotional decisions. You are executing a mechanical process. The market's daily noise is irrelevant to a system designed to run for 30 years. It's not about intelligence. It's about temperament. You don't need a finance degree. You need the discipline to set it up and the courage to leave it alone. So, your mission is to construct your investment machine. This will take 1 hour of focused action for a lifetime of results. Step 1. Open your account. You need a vessel. This will be a Roth IRA if you want tax-free growth for retirement, or a taxable brokerage account for more flexible access. Use a low-cost provider like Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab. Opening an account is like opening a bank account.
Provide your information, fund it with an initial amount, even if it's just $100. Step 2. Choose your fund. Inside your account, you will search for and buy one fund, a low-cost total stock market index fund like VTSAX or FSKAAX, or an S&P 500 index fund like VFIAX or FXAIX. Do not be paralyzed by choice. Any of these are phenomenal. Their expense ratios are minuscule. You are buying the haystack, not searching for the needle. Step 3. Automate the machine. Link your investment account to your checking account. Set up an automatic recurring investment. Schedule it for the same day your investment bucket money transfers from your paycheck. Set it to buy your chosen index fund. Amount? Whatever you allocated in your conscious spending plan, 10 to 20%. Confirm it. Walk away. You have a choice. You can remain on the sidelines, intimidated by complexity, watching inflation erode your savings, hoping a pension or Social Security will save you. Or you can become a capitalist. You can own a piece of the system. You can put the most powerful wealth-creating machine in human history, the publicly traded corporation, to work for you on autopilot. Your investment machine is now built. It is simple, automatic, and ruthless in its efficiency. While it quietly compounds in the background, we turn our attention to the most powerful financial lever you have that's still manual: your earning power.
Chapter 8. Negotiate your salary, the script that works. Your money is automated. Your investments are set. Now we attack the single largest financial variable in your life, the number that dictates the size of every automated transfer, the speed of your debt snowball, the scale of your rich life: your income. You have been taught that talking about money is rude, that you should be grateful for what you're offered, that if you just work hard, you'll be rewarded. This is the most expensive lie you've ever believed. You do not get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. A single 30-minute conversation can be worth more than a decade of cutting out lattes. A 10% raise compounded over a career can be worth over $1 million. Yet you will spend more time researching a new TV than you will preparing to ask for what you're worth. That ends today. We are not asking, we are negotiating, and we are going in with a script. Negotiation is not confrontation, it is collaboration. It is a presentation of undeniable value. You are not begging for a favor. You are showing your employer a business case for why paying you more is a smart investment for them. Your ammunition is not emotion, it is evidence. Let's build your case. The 3 pillars of negotiation. Pillar 1. Know your number. What are you worth on the open market? You will research. Use sites like Glassdoor, Levels.fy, and Salary.com. Talk to recruiters. Know the salary range for your role in your city with your experience. Your target is the top of that range. This is your objective reality. It has nothing to do with what you need. It is the market value of your skills. Pillar 2. Document your wins. Your value is not your job description. Your value is your impact. You will create a brag sheet. List every project you've led, every metric you've improved, every cost you've saved, every problem you've solved. Quantify everything. Increased sales by 15%, not helped with sales. Reduced processing time by 20 hours per month, not made things more efficient. You are building a portfolio of proof. Pillar 3. Master the script. You will not wing this. You will practice. The script has 3 acts. The opener: gratitude and intent. Thank you for taking the time to meet. I'm really excited about the work we're doing on Project X, and I'm committed to my future here. I'd like to discuss my compensation in light of the impact I've been able to deliver. Present your brag sheet. Over the last time period, I've accomplished X, Y, Z, which resulted in quantifiable benefit to the company. Based on my research into the market for this role and this level of impact, I believe a salary adjustment to your target number is appropriate. The close, the pause. You stop talking.
You have made your case. The next person who speaks loses. You wait. Let them respond. Be prepared to calmly reiterate your value. Be pleasant. Be persistent. That's the key. You are not demanding, you are demonstrating. You are giving them the rationale they need to justify paying you more to their own boss. It's not about confidence, it's about preparation. You don't need to feel brave, you need to have the documents. So, your mission is the salary negotiation drill. You will execute this whether you're up for a review or not. Step 1. The market audit. This week, research your market value. Write down the number. This is your target, not a dream, a data point. Step 2. The brag sheet assembly. One evening. Open a document. List every achievement from the last 18 months. Translate every responsibility into a result. No result is too small. This document is now a permanent living file you update every quarter. Step 3. The rehearsal. Practice the script out loud. In the mirror, to a friend, record yourself. Your delivery must be calm, factual, and assumptive. You assume your value is obvious. You are merely aligning the paperwork with reality. Practice the silence after you state your number. That silence is your power. You have a choice. You can continue to underprice your skills, leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table over your lifetime, hoping someone will notice your hard work. Or you can become your own best advocate. You can recognize that your income is the most important financial instrument you have, and you must actively manage it. You've built systems to optimize every dollar that comes in. Now ensure the torrent itself is as powerful as possible. A 10% raise doesn't just mean 10% more spending money. It means your automated investment machine just got a 10% fuel increase for life. Your earning power is now an active project, not a passive event. As you build this wealth, you must now shift from offense to defense. You must protect what you are creating.
Chapter 9. Guard your wealth, the invisible protection system. You were building, you were earning, you were investing. Now, we must become paranoid, strategically, ruthlessly paranoid. Wealth is not just about accumulation, it is about preservation. You can be the best saver, the shrewdest investor, the most formidable negotiator on earth, and it can all be wiped out by a single uninsured event, a lawsuit, a medical crisis, an untimely death. The final pillar of true financial intelligence is not sexy. It is not about growth rates or stock picks. It is about protection. It is the unglamorous, critical work of building a moat around your castle while you sleep. Protection is not pessimistic. It is the foundation of optimistic wealth building. Most people ignore this until it is too late. They are playing financial chess without a king. Today, you will install your king. You will build your invisible protection system. This system has 3 layers, like concentric rings of defense. Layer 1, the liability shield, insurance. This is your protection against catastrophic financial drains. Health insurance, non-negotiable. A medical bankruptcy is a leading cause of financial ruin. You will understand your deductible, your out-of-pocket maximum, and your network. Disability insurance. Your greatest asset is your ability to earn an income. What if you lose that ability? Long-term disability insurance replaces a portion of your income if you cannot work. For most people, this is more important than life insurance. Term life insurance, if others depend on your income. If you have a spouse, children, or anyone who relies on your cash flow, you need term life insurance, not whole life, term. 20 or 30-year term with death benefit 10 to 15 times your annual income. It is pure, cheap protection. Renters or homeowners insurance. Your possessions have value. Liability if someone is hurt in your home is a massive risk. This is a trivial cost for essential coverage. Layer 2, the succession directive, estate basics. What happens to your assets if you were gone or incapacitated? Without directives, the state decides. You will not let this happen. Beneficiaries. For every single account, your 401k, IRA, investment account, bank account, you will designate a primary and contingent beneficiary. This bypasses probate. Do this now. It takes 5 minutes per account. Will and power of attorney. You will create a simple will. You can use a reputable online service for a few $100s. This names guardians for children and dictates asset distribution.
A durable power of attorney designates someone to manage your affairs if you're incapacitated. Layer 3, the operational integrity, the quarterly review. Your systems are automated, but they must be audited. You will institute a quarterly financial systems check. Review insurance policies. Are coverages adequate? Shop rates. Confirm beneficiaries. Have life events, marriage, birth changed your designations? Test your automations. Did all transfers and payments execute flawlessly? Scan for fraud. Review account statements for any unauthorized activity. This is not a one-time task. This is a recurring, non-negotiable maintenance ritual to the machine you've built. That's the key. You are not just building wealth, you are installing the alarm system, the insurance policy, and the disaster recovery plan for it. This is what allows you to take smart risks and sleep soundly. It's not about fearing the worst, it's about respecting the complexity of life enough to prepare for its twists. You don't need to be a lawyer. You need to be a responsible system architect. So, your command is the protection protocol. You will not delay. Step 1. The insurance inventory. This weekend. Gather all your current insurance policies. For each, answer, what does it cover? What is the deductible or coverage limit? Is it adequate? Schedule 30 minutes to get online quotes for term life or disability insurance if you lack them. This is a data gathering mission. Step 2. The beneficiary blitz. 1 hour. Log into every single financial account you own. Retirement, banking, investment, HSA. Navigate to the beneficiary section. Designate a primary and contingent beneficiary for each. This is perhaps the most important hour of work in this entire program. Step 3. Schedule the quarterly Fortress Review. Open your calendar. Create a recurring 90-minute appointment every 3 months. Title it Financial Fortress Review. The agenda is the 4-point check: insurance, beneficiaries, automations, fraud. This appointment is sacred. It is the guardian of your entire system. You have a choice. You can be the person who builds a beautiful sandcastle right at the tide line, ignoring the waves, or you can build on bedrock with a seawall. You can enjoy the view without the underlying anxiety that it could all be washed away by a single unexpected event. True wealth is not a number. It is resilience. It is the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are protected, that your family is protected, that your life's work will not be undone by chance. Your fortress is now secured. The moat is filled. The walls are manned. This is the final critical piece of the architecture. Now, with everything protected and automated, there is only one thing left to do.
The machine is built. The fortress is secure. Now we arrive at the entire point, the reason for every automated transfer, every negotiated raise, every optimized credit card swipe. To live. Not someday, not when you have enough. Now. The system you have built over these 6 weeks has one ultimate purpose: to make money invisible, to turn it from a source of constant stress, guilt, and confusion into a silent, powerful tool in the background of your life. Like electricity. You don't think about it until it's gone. Your job is to keep it flowing effortlessly so you can forget about it. You have been climbing the mountain of personal finance. You have reached the summit. Look around. The view is not a bank statement. The view is your life. The life you designed in Chapter 1, your rich life. The goal is not to be rich. The goal is to live rich. The money is just the fuel. Your conscious spending plan funds your joys. Your automated investments buy your future freedom. Your protected income secures it all. Money is no longer the destination. It is the high-quality fuel in the tank of a vehicle called your life. And you are finally in the driver's seat, headed somewhere you actually want to go. So what does living your rich life look like? It is defined by 3 new realities. Reality 1. You spend with joy, not guilt. When you take your partner out for an anniversary dinner, you do not mentally calculate the cost against your retirement. You enjoy it. The money for that dinner was allocated months ago in your guilt-free spending account. It's already approved. You are not cheating on a budget. You are executing your plan for happiness. Reality 2. You make decisions from a position of strength, not fear. A job opportunity with lower pay but more meaning? You can consider it.
Because your automated savings and investments are already secured. A major car repair? It's an inconvenience, not a catastrophe, because your emergency fund is fully stocked. You can say no to toxic clients and yes to spontaneous adventures because your foundation is unshakable. Reality 3. You talk about money with calm clarity, not anxiety. When friends talk about finances, you don't feel a knot in your stomach. You have a system. You can explain your simple, automated approach without pride or shame. It is a solved problem for you, freeing your mental energy for connection and creativity. That's the key. The wealth is not in the account balance. The wealth is in the psychological space the system creates, the space to think, to create, to connect, to be present. You have bought back your own attention. It's not about retiring early to do nothing. It's about working on what you choose, because you want to, not because you have to. The system grants you options. That is the ultimate luxury. So your final ongoing instruction is the Rich Life Review ritual. Step 1. The quarterly alignment. Every quarter, during your Fortress Review, you will pull out the My Rich Life page you wrote in Chapter 1. Read it. Ask, is my spending aligned with this vision? Am I using my guilt-free money to fuel these experiences? Adjust your conscious spending plan accordingly. Your rich life is a living document. Step 2. The annual enough number check. Once a year, you will review your progress towards financial independence, the point where your investment income can cover your basic living expenses. Calculate this number not as a trigger to quit living, but as a benchmark of freedom. Each year, as this gap closes, feel the lightness increase. Your need for active income becomes a choice. Step 3. Teach the system. The final step in mastering anything is to teach it. Explain your automated system to a partner, a family member, a friend, not to brag, but to solidify it in your own mind and to potentially change theirs. Wealth shared is not divided, it's multiplied in collective security and freedom. You have a choice. You can continue the cultural treadmill where more money just leads to a higher baseline of desire, more stress, and a perpetual feeling of not enough. Or you can step off. You can use money as a tool to design a life of specific, personal richness defined by you, funded by your system, protected by your diligence. The 6 weeks are over. The program is complete. You are not the same person you were when you started. You are the person who negotiates. You are the person who automates. You are the person who invests. You are the person who protects. You are the person who spends consciously. You are not rich in money yet, but you are infinitely rich in systems, and systems, executed with quiet discipline, make money inevitable. Now, close this book. Shut down the computer. Go look at your calendar, not at the bills, but at the life you've scheduled, and live it. The pursuit is over. The living begins now.
The system is live. The automation is set. The 6 weeks are complete. You have killed the guilt. You have optimized your credit cards. You have opened your high-yield accounts. You have automated your savings and investments. You have negotiated your value. You have built your conscious spending plan, and you have protected it all. From this moment forward, money is no longer a source of daily anxiety. It is a quiet, automated tool working in the background of your life. Your only job now is to live, to spend consciously and joyfully on the things you love, to invest in your relationships and your growth, to define and then relentlessly fund your rich life. The mechanics are done. The psychology is rewired. Now, go live. Not someday, now. You are rich in systems. You are rich in knowledge. You are rich in choice. That is the true wealth. The program is over. Your rich life begins now.